So what I can advise most youth, stop looking for capital. Like at you need 100k, 50k, no.
Because hiyo ndo
inakuwa shida. Yes. Ati nimetafuta pesa, sijapata, no. Toka enda kwa mtu akona tour farm. Enda mwambia, me I want to market. I can get, like tourists, I can get visitors, na nikulete.
Yeah.
Go to a hotel, market. I can register a company, doesn't take much.
Yeah.
So you're just going to use your brain, ride on people already have the facility to make some little money.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back again to Masaku Features Podcast. I'm so excited. I'm thrilled because this is our second episode. It comes right after the most critical episode that you can ever do if you're getting into this field. So today we are looking into having such amazing conversations because I am joined by one amazing woman. She's a businesswoman in Machakos County, mainly based in Syokimau, Mlolongo. So trust me, you don't want to miss the amazing conversation, the story about her journey into business that you're going to have with her. However, before we get into that, I would like us to jump and look into some of the issues that have been sparking conversation this week. So on March 17th, tulisikia President wetu Ruto aki-address the nation, and this was such a wake-up moment, I think, for all Kenyans, because when I listened to this speech yenye alikuwa anapeana, without sugarcoating, let us say ilikuwa kurushiana maneno with the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua and his team of opposition. Now, the most important question that we should jump into next ni, what type of leaders are we going to replace the ones that are existing with? Now, coming down to our local area, hapa nyumbani, ambapo ni Mlolongo in Machakos County, we've also had so many matters arising. People from the other end in Kathangaita have faced such a critical challenge. Many other areas across Mlolongo tumekuwa na tukiface power shortage. And it goes not just for one day and then inarudi. Sio ile tumezoea ya Kenya Power wanaanua stima mvua ikienda kunyesha, hapana. This has been affecting people for like a week. I mean, wanabiashara. Squeezy, we have so many people working from home. Imagine the kind of disruption this brings on our day-to-day lives. Operations zetu zinasimama, and then there are no any official communications from the right channels, and people are just left stranded. Another challenge that we've seen and that has been addressed, and it's now a debate between wanabiashara, pedestrians, and hawkers and boda riders in Mlolongo about the footbridge that we have. They enable people to cross the very busy Mombasa-Nairobi highway as well as the expressway along Mlolongo. We all know the population here is so high, and the footbridge that are significantly located do assist in the crossing of the busy highway, of course. However, unakuta more than half of the path is occupied by hawkers. Watu wanakuja wanakelea biashara zao hapo, and that's done for the day. Sisi wenye tunatembea, we are left with so much little space to use. And then you hear we still have the challenge of boda riders wanting to use the same path. I mean, it just causes such a crazy commotion. Na pia it's just not right. Unaangalia inafanya kuna kosa ile law and order. in the daily operations of things. So we are hoping that also, as we are looking more into these issues, to find more information, tukifanya research yetu on our side so that we can bring you more information. We hope that you'll be able to shed some light if you have any information about the ongoing shortage electricity in Mlolongo, or the ongoing debate about boda boda riders, hawkers and pedestrians using the footbridge. Kindly interact with us in the comment sections. Tuambie what your thoughts are. Give us any information that you may have on this so that we keep interacting. Now, away from that, and we're getting deep into the main agenda for our show today. I am joined by an amazing businesswoman, as I said. I'm going to give her a moment. Helen, karibu sana kwa show. Her name is Helen. I'll give her a moment to introduce herself, and maybe please briefly tell us what you do and how long you've been into the business that you're currently into.
Okay, thank you for having me here in Masaku Features. My name is Helen Denya Musau, popularly known as H. H is my business name. Is the name I used to trade in my area.
Okay.
And I run an agency called Airbnb Agency by H, which has a smaller company in it called H Homes.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've been in this business this is my 4th year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Now, when we are talking about Airbnb business, we'd like to understand how did you start, and for you to 4 years ago, I know right now you've grown significantly comparing to when you started, right? So maybe give us a short story of your vision. What inspired you to get into this business? What mindset ilikusaidia ku carry yourself into the business and be successful? 4 years into it, you're still here, you're still thriving. Maybe unaweza shed some light on us, your vision and the mindset that has carried you through.
Okay, thank you for the question. I didn't start from where I am. Of course, I started from a humble beginning.
Yeah.
This started from, we usually tell people and we usually get advice, like get self-employment, look for something you can do. So this caught me at a moment I did not have work. I was in the house and I looked at my bills. I have to provide to my children and everything.
Yeah.
So a friend came and asked me, is there a house in the apartment you live along Katani Road? And I got her house because at that time I was doing agency, whereby I would get for people houses and make a small commission. So I connected her to the caretaker and all, and I helped her, she set up and everything. We did all this together.
Yeah.
Then she asked me, since you live here, do you think like you can fill in the gap? I need someone to check on this house, clean and everything at a small fee. So an opportunity walks in. Here I am. I didn't have something. I mean, we need to eat daily. There's the daily needs and the monthly needs and all that. So I took it as an opportunity to earn something small. So I gave her a proposal and told her, yes, I'll do all that, but allow me to also market your unit so that if I get you guests, as much as I can come handle them, maybe, like opening the gate, all that cleaning, allow me, we agree on a certain percentage for every guest I give you. So it actually worked to my favor, and she accepted, and we hit the road running. It was busy. Like by the end of the first month, she couldn't believe it. So that's how I started. That's how I started off as a housekeeper, and as an agent. So that is what brought in the idea of the agency.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is such an inspirational story.
Thank you.
Coming to also see that it was an idea planted in you by someone else, and for you saw an opportunity, grabbed it and ran with it.
Yes.
Now, still on the point of opportunities, we have significant urban growth along Syokimau Mlolongo area, or even Mombasa Road. The urban growth is significant by things such as the expressway. We have the SGR terminus in Syokimau, and so many other things that we have around. I'm sure these automatically bring opportunities where people can grab and do so much. There are so many opportunities. In your experience, do you feel like the local population and the young people are well informed about the opportunities that are present for us here at home?
Yeah, you're right. There are a lot of opportunities, especially Syokimau area right now. But I feel like, the youth are not very well informed about that.
Yeah.
Because maybe we are working with a generation that is in those times of looking for employment. Like, can I give you my CV? I've had a few of them tell me that.
Yeah.
Of which I've taken an opportunity to encourage a few of them and tell them, no, you don't need to, you don't have to get employment. You might have had a degree, you might be a lawyer by degree.
Yeah.
Or maybe you could be a doctor, but you should be able to take an opportunity that is opening up near you. For example, there's this lady, a friend who we met just the same way we like people meet along these businesses and all.
Yeah.
So she approached me and she's like, things are down. She was back to where I was. Mm-hmm. Things are down for me. What can be done? What can we do together so that I can at least put food on my table?
Yeah.
So I gave ideas instantly, because when I started doing this, I worked every day. Ideas were just flowing. But I could not split myself to handle everything.
Sure.
So I saw this is a young lady. She's very sharp and everything.
Yeah.
So I told her, I sold to her my idea of housekeeping.
Uh-huh.
But this time around, I was in a space where I was already hosting. I had my first house, and we were in a group. We were in an apartment in Beijing Road.
Yeah.
That had over 20 units. So I spoke to people. I told her, you can come clean my 3 houses. Mine was managing too. So I gave her an opportunity, and I told her, if you do this right, and this is how the road you're going to take, I think I can talk to my fellow hosts in the same apartment.
Yeah.
So that you can
also do this.
You can do. And then you take it up big time. I create employment, which is one thing I advocate for.
Yeah.
You can take girls around that area.
Mm-hmm.
Who come knocking to, Mama Fua and all that.
Yeah.
Create employment. And she also took it and ran with it.
Wow.
Yeah, she took the idea and ran with it.
That's actually beautiful. It makes me think, if you're looking at the current generation we have, I'm sure umemention tuko na hiyo mentality ya tutoke shule tukuje kutafuta employment. It's just about, can I send you my CV?
Yes.
Unipatie kazi. Say people are now made aware of the opportunities that are there for them to create employment and also be self-employed. What do you think are some of them, how do I put it, ideologies ama mentalities ambazo young people tunafaa could do away with, and what are some of the mental, ideologies that we should adopt zituwezeshe kupata hiyo courage ya now grabbing the opportunities and doing the work?
First of all is your mindset.
Uh-huh.
If you have a mindset of, I need to make some money. Some of us, since I was 26, I've been in business through. Wow. Maybe employment for a short while.
Yeah.
So my mindset is that I can make something out of, I can see an opportunity. I can think about it. I can make something out of it.
Yeah.
So what I can advise most youth, stop looking for capital. Like I need 100K, 50K, no.
Because hiyo ndo
inakuwa shida. Yes. Ati nimetafuta pesa, sijapata, no. Toka enda kwa mtu akona tour farm. Enda mwambia, me I want to market. I can get, like tourists, I can get visitors na nikulete.
Yeah.
Go to a hotel, market. I can register a company, it doesn't take much.
Yeah.
So you're just going to use your brain, ride on people already have the facility to make some little money. Then that way you might even grow to opening up your own stuff. If it's a guy who's in a tours and travel and all that, someone giving guests, they might end up getting an Uber. Or maybe you have an Uber.
Yeah.
You can come talk to H. I'll give you airport transfers. I'll plug you to my guests. I'll give you enough people to move around, to take to the airport, to pick from the airport and all that. It's all mindset. At times you might not have the capital, the resources and all that, but you can always work your way towards it. If you show interest, you can always get help. And then there's also this mentality of, hii siwezi fanya.
True.
Like housekeeping inaangaliwa kama ni kazi low kabisa. Actually, that was the lowest I've ever started off in my life, because all the businesses I had were shooting from 0 to 100. So in me, I knew I had the power, the willpower and everything to do this.
Yeah.
So I didn't care. I have to put food on my table.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm not young. I'm not a Gen Z. I have a Gen Z in the house. Gen Zs, as a matter of fact, a Gen Alpha. I have to cater for these people.
Yeah.
So again, our children also learn from us, from our example.
Yeah.
Like in my household, my children know mom is a go-getter. She can do anything and all that. So they learn from the things I've done before. I've done a couple of businesses before. I've been in the restaurant industry. I've been in the nails industry. Yeah. Now Airbnb. So all these things apply in my house.
Wow.
All my children can cook. They can clean up well. So they're observing. Yeah. So meaning, yes, meaning I'm raising up from what I'm doing. I'm going to raise somebody in the near future, will not be like hanging there waiting for help. If it's daughters, they don't have to look for a sponsor to pay their bills. Yeah, they know what to do.
And they can do it.
They can do it, yes.
That's such an inspirational piece. I like the way you clearly showing us the most vulnerable moments of your life. Yes. You did not let hizo zidefine ati sasa niko unemployed, I'm going to give up. And pia mentioned that you've been doing so many businesses. I think pia ile mindset ya limitation tunakuanga nayo inafanya wengi wetu tunapitwa na such opportunities. So I think what I'm picking is no fear, just go do it.
Go do it, go get it. But again, I also emulated that from my parents, especially my mother.
Yeah,
I would see my mother used to work for a big insurance firm, but in upcountry, she would plant fruits, vegetables. My dad was the mukulima. My mom was the brains, now the street smart. So every weekend they go to Shags, they come back. There are guys waiting for her in the office to supply them pawpaws, oranges, kunde, and all that.
Wow.
So we were watching.
Yeah,
as
see how
we were watching.
She wasn't diverse about it.
Yes. And I wouldn't say like everyone from our family picked the business acumen. It could be one or two, but depends on how you picked it.
So true.
How you picked it. You can pick the business acumen, but maybe unasikia mtu akisema, hey, I need $1 million to start a business. And Helen is here telling you, me, I just need an opportunity to start a business. Yeah, so that is what I would really encourage most people, the youth. Hakuna makazi saizi.
For sure.
There are no jobs.
They are all either occupied, being taken up by AI and technology.
Yes. So you just have to use brains. Like, I remember there's a mama who sells vegetables right outside one of the apartments I have.
Yeah.
It's a high-end area. But I would walk to her and eat her chips, the 50 bob chips. These are chips, we call them chips muitu and all. And I asked her, mbona hauna soda? And she told me, mama, unajua pesa. So I asked her, if I buy you 2 crates, we'll ever lose, nitakosa soda nikikuja hapa. So again, if you say you don't have, if someone empowers you, make sure the next time they pass by, they'll be proud of you.
They can see the results.
So the next time I'm eating my chips muitu, there's soda and water.
Wow.
So such things, and this an old mama. So meaning, young people can do a lot. Gonga mayai, uza smoky. Capital ni kama thao. Mtu anaweza kaa anaweza fanya biashara yake. You know, you go to an area like Mlolongo.
Yeah.
Mlolongo never, I think people work throughout the hour.
It's a 24-hour business.
Just go observe, think. Ask the people around, if I do this, am I safe and all?
Yeah.
So ni kujituma, bottom line.
Amazing. I really like the point of view. And I think that sheds light to so many of the youth out there that are aspiring to get something that puts something on your table.
Yes.
That is such a good point of view to look at it and very inspirational. Now, on the same line of business, we understand that local leadership as well as national leadership do affect how our businesses run from day to day, matters to do na licensing and such stuff. Masaku Features Podcast, we mainly look at the local issues affecting us in Mlolongo area, Machakos, and then we also touch on the national issues. Now, in your experience, how do you feel like the county government of Machakos has affected the operations of businesses, either in a positive way that you can commend them for and maybe help other people be aware of, or in what negative ways, and what do you think should be done to improve the ways that have negatively affected the business spectrum in Machakos?
Okay, for me, I believe Machakos County is doing a good job because they're the county.
Yeah.
There's decorum that has to be followed. So if you want to do business, you require licenses, just do it right.
Yeah.
Like even for in our business, Airbnb, there are licenses that were introduced.
Yeah.
So we have to comply, not from the county, from tourism board. So we have to comply. So anytime we are told this is what you need, we have to pay for our licenses.
Mm-hmm.
You also have to be registered for you to do any business.
Yeah.
You want to grow a name.
Mm-hmm.
Just register your business, get your certificates right and all that.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the negativity and all, I don't think there's any. Probably what they need to do is create spaces, what they did in Mlolongo. Before Mlolongo town didn't have decorum.
Yeah.
You find someone selling shoes here, nini. They did a good job, they built the roads, the inside roads and everything. Maybe now there should be a designated marketplace, a market area like at the river.
Yeah.
That can also motivate people and the youth to do something.
Yeah, to bring more investment.
Because if there's no decorum, I might come here, I want to sell shoes, and this space is owned by people. They don't own the area, they don't own the plot or anything, but it's their space.
Kusema.
Yes. Ni wao kusema. So you just have to you have to talk to somebody, maybe pay something, ndio ukue hapo. So they should create a facility or facilities whereby now if you want to do a small business, like most youth, like men, are doing nails on a mobile. There should be somewhere where they can, even if they can't afford to pay rent for a full month, there should be a space whereby, there's a hall, you can come with your stool, with your whatever, pay 200, like the way we pay parking.
Yeah.
Lipa 200 for the day. You make your money and go. So me, if I want to do my nails, I know I can go to this spot because me, I'm all about, by then me, I like supporting youth and people, upcoming people. I advocate for that.
Yeah.
So for me, I would want to do my nails. I'll go support them. So they've not provided anything, people have to struggle to start off.
I think that makes a lot of sense. The need for order in Mlolongo town, because we just from talking about how
even Syokimau.
True, yeah. Kumekuwa na back and forth na hawkers, border people and pedestrians, not only kwa footbridge but also other few areas. So I think that is a really good point to note. Also, it's really amazing that you've mentioned as long as you're adhering to the requirements of the government, just any official institution, things do
there are no shortcuts
for you.
There are no shortcuts.
So biashara sio mbaya sana.
Biashara sio mbaya na biashara zingine need licenses.
Yeah, sure.
Kuna zile need license. Maybe kama hauna duka nini, starting off, you might start off like kugonga mayai smoky. You might not go to register, but someone can decide and takuwa nasimama hii spot kutoka saa 12 saa moja, because I know there are bars, there's traffic, there are people coming from work nini, then you give yourself 3 hours, umeuza crate zako 3, whatever, and you go back home. So not every business has to be that to get there, but if that mayaigonga and smokies grow, get a shop, open a restaurant, pay your licenses, and there's always need for growth.
True.
Because again, I don't advocate for stagnation. Ukwame tu mahali pamoja miaka yote, no. If you're not growing after every year and then you're doing nothing. Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. I appreciate that point of view. It also still sheds so much light to us. Maybe to close off our discussion, I would like to hear from you. What message generally would you give to especially young women who are coming up into the employment spaces, maybe fresh from school, ama maybe tumekuwa hapa kwa market and things are really, really hard on us? What would be some of the encouraging words you can share with them, maybe to make sure that they don't lose hope and get to do something with their lives?
What I would encourage, like you said, mostly the women, let's not be in fear. Let's not be the slaves, like they put it, the slave. Everyone wants to look good. Everyone wants to make an appearance. Maybe you're going to a function somewhere. do something about those bills, do something to empower and grow yourself. Start from yourself before you go out there to look for somebody to empower you.
Yeah.
And these things are doable. If it's washing clothes, do numbers. Actually, I advocate for numbers. Kula kidogo mara mingi. You might be doing 10 houses every day. At the end of the week, you have your records. You've collected something sustainable. Yeah. So let's just remove that mindset of siezi fanya hii. And in everything you do, like I started from a housekeeper.
Yeah.
I cleaned those houses and those beddings and all that willingly. At the same time, I learned about the business.
Yeah.
So I started off as
a housekeeper.
I went to a broker.
Yeah.
To opening an agency, to having like 5 units in Syokimau. And in those 5 units, I create employment. Yeah. Every house has a lady who cleans, and I motivate them. One of them, I discovered she can make shower gels, cleaning soap.
Yeah.
Ninampea biashara na si yangu. Because I have groups I run.
Yeah.
If it's in apartment, I take leadership, I open a WhatsApp group and all. So nasema so and so is selling soap and also shower gel. So unapata everyone is ordering from her. So pia as business people, ukipata mtu kishika hivi, umsaidie. Shika umsaidie vile pia atachukua kimbia. They take off. Even if they won't run from 0 to 100, me I'm not yet at 100. I'm somewhere. But at least you bump into someone and you see they're doing well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So again, it's also a blessing. And again, also let's learn to give back to society.
For sure.
Yeah. If God blesses you, it doesn't take you much to buy 2 crates of bread and a box of milk.
Yeah.
And take to a children's home nearby.
Oh,
yeah. Learn to work in your society, in your community, and learn to support people in your same community. Before you diversify and go elsewhere, make sure you create a name where you are.
For sure.
So that is the name that is going to run you for the rest of your life.
Amazing.
That's all I can advise.
Amazing. I really love everything you've been able to share with us today, Helen.
Yeah.
Ningependa tuendelee kuketi hapa tuongee mengi because I can feel you have so much inspiring words, so much amazing advice, business-wise and also in terms of just life generally. And I'm sure our audience is going to enjoy this conversation. In case of any questions, we'll be posing them, in and have our guests interact with us. We truly appreciate you taking your time kuja kuketi na sisi, kuhave a conversation. It has been enriching, it has been enlightening, and we hope to have you back sometime to discuss more on these matters, because one thing Masaku Features Podcast is about, we are all about sharing information, sharing knowledge to ensure that we are raising a generation of informed individuals who are able to make right decisions for every person's future, for every person's life. Because zile decisions na make as a person, utakuta, especially such as elections that we are talking about at the moment, they end up affecting every other person in the nation. So yeah, we're looking forward to building a community of thinkers, a community of informed people, and make the best decisions that will help us live in a beautiful country that we are hoping to have. So thank you so much, Helen, for coming into the show. It has been amazing. My name is Irene Ngele. I have been your host. See you on the next episode.